And welcome back to part 3 of our trip down memory lane. This is New Masseque, the jungle's edge. And so here we are looking at the map again. And this is me doing a collection of videos for the 3 cities I have in Minecolonies 12. And so here we are, and welcome back. And we're going to begin in just a minute. And I'm going to begin right here, just telling this story that when I started the Jungle's Edge, Minecolonies did not have any jungle buildings. Hello, welcome back, Potential. Thank you for being here, and thank you so much for your follow. Thank you, thank you. We this as I was saying, this was started with this idea that I had built New Mombasa, and it was like, man, wouldn't it be really cool if there was a jungle city? And so we began using dark oak buildings to build New Masseque, which is on the jungle's edge. Now, the jungle is actually all located in this direction over here, and it is pouring down rain this evening in the jungle. And it is located between on the edge of this jungle, the edge of this mountain area, and the edge of the swamp. So this seemed like a really beautiful place, and this edge where the city hall is where the original city hall was. This is not the original city hall. The original city hall was made out of dark oak. And yes, this is a pretty big city as well, but this is the new Jungle City Hall right across from, and I think you'll recognize this building. This is what the library actually looks like, the Jungle Library. This is it, the way it's supposed to look. We've not really done much to this building because it was a brand new jungle build and it was gorgeous. So a lot of this building is exactly the way it was, except for this room right here, which we made into the dean's office, and we did change the furnishings that were in this library office right here. That office existed. We just changed the furnishings out. And upstairs through this entire building was actually like this. Now, Chroma Hills actually has these, the resource pack. Their paintings are completely different from the regular vanilla Minecraft paintings, and this is one of their paintings. And it just worked perfectly in this university. But I loved this building from the second I saw it. This is actually probably the first jungle building that I made in this jungle city, because jungle buildings were just being developed at the time, and I am so glad that they did. I love it. It's beautiful. It's absolutely beautiful. And when I first started, remember, there were no jungle buildings, and we had dark oak. I had just finished building dark oak, so I wasn't, I wanted to do a little bit something more. So I actually started with acacia buildings out on the swamp first, and on this area, right on this swamp ledge here, which is now still acacia, this whole area here, but it has been built up a lot. So you recognize this tavern. Oh my gosh. Oh, it's a member of the royal family. This is a member of the swamp royal family, a younger member. Remember that revenants, skeletons take care of zombies because zombies are young skeletons. Our zombies are skeletons that still have their rotting flesh on them. So when you see them dressed in full armor like this, they're members of the royal family. Even though they don't have magical weapons, only the high members of the royal family, the ruling class, has magical weapons, and those magical weapons are not given to zombies. Zombies have special weapons like this sword, but those are given as prizes or as rewards, awards. What would you call it? As for work that they have done, or for bravery, or for going into the towns and doing things. So that's it. Even some of their own soldiers sometimes don't have those honors. These soldiers are just regular foot soldiers there. They don't have the honor. So we have two sets of three. We usually do have three different lords in a city area. We have the Lord of the Swamp, the Lord of the Mountain, and the Lord of the Jungle in this area. New Mombasa has the Lord of the Swamp, the Lord of the Plains, and the Lord of the Forest. And then Omo had the Lords of the Desert and the Lords of the and that's pretty much it for them. The mountain range was really overrun with barbarians from very early on, and the revenants moved out when that started happening. But that's some history of all the three cities together. This one, like I said, one of the first buildings that we built that was a jungle building was this beautiful library, which we are using as a university. And here's the interesting thing. So on YouTube, under Roslydian, I actually have a full history of the growth of this city. I built this city with the intent that it was going to be my YouTube city, the city that I was specifically streaming to YouTube. And so for the longest time I did. And then I stopped when 15 started coming along, when I started to have some problems with the city because they were transitioning to 15, and a lot of the buildings, the new buildings, were problematic. And so I'm happy with what I was able to include in this 12 cities. But the reason that I wanted to build this gorgeous jungle design, this is the stonemason. These statues are a part of the level 5 of the stonemason. So this is actually Minecolonies. You can build this. This is not me building it. And I should say that this is not me building any of this. As a good friend in chat has described me, I am a cake decorator. These buildings, I have to be in love with the buildings in order for me to build them in my towns. And when I build them in my towns, because I'm building a real city and I have to build like 10 or 15 houses, and I don't want little boxes on the hillside, I try and make them different. So I have a lot of buildings that are built differently. This is a dark oak. This is a dark oak house right here. This is a Mesa house that has been, both these houses have been done over to be jungle. This is actually the level 1 or 2 of a birch restaurant done over in dark oak. Now, the done over part is me. The builder actually built this in birch, and then I take it and use that as a template to rebuild it in jungle and in dark oak, to make it look like this, because I wanted it to be a dark oak building. And I thought I was going to cover it when I first built it, but I decided that I was not. In this area, this is on the other side. This is the main jungle area. And these buildings are slowly but surely, the trees are growing back in this area, and the foliage is becoming thicker in this area where we have built the city. And you can see the city all winding in and out of these big trees. We were able to save some of the original trees. This is one of the original trees. And we have a couple other trees that are originals. And then places like the farm over here. Mildred, how did you get up here? I'm not sure. Yeah, she can get down. See these trees here? I think they allow her to step herself down to the house. At least I hope so. Do I see a way for her to get down? I actually don't. But it's raining, and she actually is just walking around because they don't work in the rain. It is daytime, and workers don't work in the rain. She is one of the three farmers who work this jungle farm. And this jungle farm was just so incredible. It was so incredible. I had to build it. Had to. It was so amazing. And, but it was only one farmer, and this is the farm building. It was only one farmer assigned to this farm, even though it has 4 fields, and it has 4 fields. And so I wanted to be able to have other farmers work on this farm. And thank you, Minecolonies, for making that possible, that I could build this little dark oak farm here. And I believe this is a dark oak farm for real. Let's see if it is. Let's look. Yes, it's a medieval dark oak, but it's only a level. Let's see what level it is. It's a level 3. The level 4 and 5 is too big, and I just wanted it to just be a smaller version. I have another one over here in spruce. This is a medieval spruce version for the other farmer who lives in this Mesa house. This is, no, this is a sandstone. This is the sandstone house made into a jungle house. And that's where this farmer lives. All 3 of these farmers work this farm right here. And 2 of the farmers live in this house right here, which is a stone house made to look like a jungle house. and we took out, I just love the inside. I loved what happened when I added jungle accents to this stone building. Now, I think the floor is the original floor. It originally was spruce. Notice I haven't really done much to this, but you can see that it does have Mr. Crayfish accents to it. I love those doors. They don't exist, unfortunately, in 15, but I love those doors. So that is a farmer's house. And so the 3 farmers who work this farm all live here. And we added this sugarcane farm, which technically in 12 they don't work, but it's meant to be that they work this farm as well, since we have 3 farmers, and we wanted to have sugarcane actually growing in the city. So I'm going to take a minute. I'm just concerned about her being there. I shouldn't be, but I'm going to take a second. I'm going to get her. Oh, look, I had some zombie villagers. And potential human, I've been inspired by you that I'm actually going to, let's see if I can do this. I might have to come out of this view for a second just so that I can get her off of this ledge. And I have her now. This is one of the things that is just going to be a doppelganger right there. She's going to end up back at City Hall, and she's going to walk her way back there. She's technically not on the building anymore, and we're not going to bother doing anything else because I forgot about the doppelgangers, and we just have to deal with them. It's a remnant of City 12 being, they moved on to 15 and 12. They fixed a lot of things for a really long time, and so I'm fine with the place at which they left 12. I can still come into the city and play in here if I want, and you can't do that with some mods. So I'm very happy with the fact that this mod works well. This is the farming district here. This was actually the location of the original equestrian ranger tower. When we did have a ranger tower over in this area, we no longer needed it. Our relationship with the plains lord, the jungle lord, the swamp lord, and the mountain lord was good enough that we tore down that particular ranger tower. We have no ranger towers here. This is a place, yeah. See what's happening? Excuse me, I'm going to cough. Yeah. Yeah. We have Frederic. What are you going to do? I'm hoping. Yeah, let me just do this. I can't stand it. You know me, I can't stand it. Let's just go ahead and let's just get her down off of this ledge. They get very adventuresome when when it rains and they have the day off and they climb. I'm going to set you right there. She went back to City Hall, and we'll just leave her for now. Let me just keep this here and let me go to this view. Okay. Sorry about that. So yeah, but that was actually the owner of this flower shop. This is actually a jungle flower shop, and we built this because the composter is right here next to the farm, so it's actually a part of this farm, the composter as well. These are the environmentalists. The composter is run by an environmentalist, and his chosen is the one who is running this jungle farm florist. We have two other florists here, one in the city behind the university here in this area. We have another farmer who has a flower shop and raises flowers. And then in the Acacia area, the jungle's edge, we have this, and this once again is a dwarven flower shop. And in this instance, it's been made to look like an acacia building in this acacia area. This is a dwarven flower shop. This is a birch delivery delivery shop here, courier's office. This is the Stone Tavern, one of the first implementations of a tavern before you could have people. So this tavern is just a restaurant. It is a stone restaurant here that I was calling a tavern because I wanted to have, I was inspired by Chat, by Johnny Speed in Chat, to make a bordello. And I said, I'm not going to make a bordello, but I will make a tavern. So this was my very first tavern that I made, and it was made in stone. It's a stone medieval restaurant, and then I changed all of the insides to make it actually a tavern. And this area out here is the driveway. There is, they serve food, so they have a little farm to table garden back in this area here. They have some herbs and some vegetables planted. This is the kitchen. We added this door and extended this kitchen area of this restaurant back here to give them a little bit more space. This bar area up here is a part of the build, the original build. We just added chairs. This bathroom was actually included in the build. I just added the Mr. Crayfish facilities, the toilet, and his bird bath makes a great sink. So I loved adding that to this bathroom. And then up here is the main restaurant. We have a little lounge right here where people can actually bring drinks. We have a drink counter right here. This is the main dining room right here where people come and have dinner. Now, which should I do first? Let's do this. Let's go to the hotel part of the tavern. And these are the rooms. And this is probably the most built out of my taverns right now, is this one. This is one of the bedrooms here. This is a bedroom on this side right here. This is the hotel essentially of this place. And then this bedroom right in there, which is really fun. I do like the wood. And then for the people who stay in this area, we do have this terrace here where they can have breakfast or lunch, and also where townspeople can come. The people who live around here can come and have lunch on this terrace. This part of the restaurant is closed during the day, and the nightclub is closed during the day and opened at night. This is the large private dining area where if you have a large party, you have it in this area. And then this door leads to the nightclub. And here is the drinks counter for the nightclub. Here is the nightclub stage right here. And this is the nightclub itself. And the fact for this being a nightclub was actually inspired by the fact that in the original build, all of these tabletops had these multicolored carpets on them. And it's like, this is absolutely a disco. So we put in a matching carpet and the stage, and we covered it because, as I said, we are at the jungle's edge and it does monsoon here. So we wanted to cover that so that it wouldn't rain on everybody while they were eating. And I believe we covered the terrace also, just to keep everybody from being drenched when it rained. And so, yes, so that is the tavern. That is the stone medieval tavern made into a stone medieval restaurant. Sorry about that. Made into a tavern. And this is the rail. We started building a rail that was going to go to another city over in the district, over beyond our city. Ooh, is that one? No, that's just a decorated. Got lots of family and people down here, but that's that's like a general, a decorated soldier right there. Decorated. That's what it would be. The moon is setting and the sun is going to come up. We had intended for the rail to cross this swamp and for there to be another city over there. And the reason that we haven't done that is because 15 happened. So that's the reason that this city is probably stopped right here, but it's big enough and complete enough that I feel secure that they are a happy city. This is one of the other restaurants. This is actually a Nordic restaurant that we changed a little tiny bit. We actually put in Mr. Crayfish's big, beautiful chairs right here around this table. And because this restaurant is actually a located in a destination area. This is the gorge. This is the gorge. This is actually a ravine that is open, and we people can come here and look at it and tour, see it from above ground, look down into it, and that is what they love to do in this area. We have some wild cows from the Lord of the Plains out here. This is where our original cows came from. We bought them from the Lord of the Plains, and occasionally we still have some of their cows wander in. Originally, this farm was the cattle ranch, but we changed it into the dairy farm. This is a dairy farm, and this is the cattle ranch out here now because I wanted to build this. This was the first time that I built this. I built it here, the Dark Oak cattle ranch. But this being a 15 build, and the fact that it even works in 12, thank goodness, because this is the end. That's one of the latest builds. I loved these houses, and they worked really nice to make this little community cul-de-sac right here. We have two blacksmiths here. We're using this blacksmith, and I'll tell you what it is. It is a um, level 2 medieval spruce blacksmith right here, but it is located next to this Nordic blacksmith right here, which is only, I believe, a level 1 or 2, a level 3. And the reason it's only a level 3 is because the level 4 has the downstairs, and we did not want that as a part of this particular build. This is a thing that I love about Minecolonies. So because they have all these different levels of buildings, you can have the same type of building built at different levels all over the place. And that just makes it so cool. This right here is a level 3 or no, it's not even. It's level 2, I believe. Yes, a level 2 of a medieval dark oak. Okay, but this across the street is a level 5 of the same style of those buildings. This is actually the spruce, but this is the level 5 of that building across the way. And that's one of the things that I really love. Now, this is a dark oak level 3. And you have to do a level 3 to get it upstairs, to get the bedrooms upstairs. Let me see which one this is. Is this the dark oak? Yes, this is a dark oak level. This is level 5 dark oak. And so you can see the massive difference between this building right here. Now this building is up close to another building. This dark oak is from here, right here, this whole building. And this building right here, they are the same building at different levels. And which is really fun to do. This is also, this is the dark oak building at a level 3. Did I say dark oak? I beg my pardon. This is an oak building. We did a lot to this building. This level 3 oak. Is it dark oak? Let's see. No, it's oak, yes. But as you can see, we did all sorts of things to it. So it has a brand new kitchen. It has an actual, we made that dark workshop area, barn area into a deck. This is why we built this house here, to change that little farm deck into a party deck for this family. So we took out all of the old part of this and made it into this really pretty area where their family can come. So when they have big family gatherings, they eat outside, of course, because there's not quite enough room in here for eating indoors with a big party. This is one of the many variations that we've done on this upstairs with this fireplace and this bed and desk area. This changes with me from place to place, but I love working on this. This is probably one of the modern kitchens. It actually has the fridge in this area. And hold on. I just didn't want to clear my throat in your ear. Okay. And yeah, so now New Masseque is the last city we made in 12. So it has 3 schools. It has essentially a grade school. This is first school, and that's how they do their schools. This is called first school, and it is an Acacia school. And we kept it at a lower level because we wanted to retain the sandbox in this. This is a level 3 of this school, and this is the first school. So this is where the kids go. Then the intermediate school is the second school, and this is a Mesa or Sandstone. It's got to be Mesa. Let's go in and find out. This is a Mesa build of the library. These are all libraries. There were no schools or universities in 12. And so this is, yes, this is Mesa. And so this is a modern, and I do mean modern. They have a very special, what would you call it today? What would it be called? What they call those? Montessori kind of school? That's what this would be, kind of high school. That's the equivalent that it would be in our world. But this is second school in this city, and this is where they go before they go to university. And then the university is, of course, across the way, downtown. Now, another of the last of the builds that we did was that the jungle design added a marketplace, and it was so beautiful. But because of what happened in Omo, where I built that marketplace away from the center of town, I actually tore down an apartment building here to put this marketplace here because I wanted it to be someplace where they had to walk through and use. And so here it is. It's so pretty. It is a 2-story. I think it's only 2-story, but we'll see in a minute. Market. And I did do some changes to the second floor. The second floor did not have this roof, but we are in the jungle, so I put a roof over this food area here. This is sort of like, you know how malls have a food area. This is their food area. And inspired by the build itself, they did have tables up in that area there, and then all these little store areas right here where people can come in and buy. Like I said, this was one of the last builds before I went to 15, so the areas that aren't completely built out are because I had stopped. I stopped. But that mall, I just fell in love with it. I fell in love with that, with this restaurant. Do I still have dirt there? Oh dear. When I see stuff like that, I want to continue. This is actually, what do we call this street? I've forgotten the name. But this street, believe it or not, runs the entire length. It'll be easier to see from the air, I think. Runs through the Acacia area and through the industrial area right here, all the way to the other end of the city. And there are industries all through this area here. These industries are all through here. There's our lumberjack up in the tree. He can get down. I know he can get down from those trees. And so that is the end of this street. But I love that street goes all the way through. If you notice, the streets in this city are much more built out than they are in the first 2 cities. That is the result of the first 2 cities, that I have much more street knowledge and am connecting the cities much better. The streets worked better by this time in Minecolonies, and so I was able to put the streets in. You see the Nordic buildings that we have added, as Nordic just began to come in at the time when I was building this city. And yeah, so this is the entire city. I think it's pretty intense. Considering, now this is the only one of the three that did not start in survival. This city was actually started in creative, but was built the same as the other cities. The only thing that I use creative for is materials and to do what I'm doing now, to get up in the air, to place the buildings, and to see the city grow, and to see the way the people live, because I love doing that. I love doing that. So down here, I'm going to talk about this enchanting tower. This is the very first enchanting tower that I built, and it was built it was when there was only wood. The only enchanting tower you could have was a wooden enchanting tower. And so I knew when I built it that I was going to make it, I was going to, I don't know what to call what I do, but I was going to make it into a jungle enchanting tower this way. So this is the Magical Arts building for the University of New Masseque, which is right here. And this is their Magical Arts building. Now, when they were building this building, they discovered a hidden temple. And only the basement of this temple was still there. And so, oh, look, we've been honored by a visit from the cats. Is that a baby? Look at this baby. Oh my goodness, you're so adorable. You're so cute. The ocelots, I don't make them into pets because then they become cats. And so ocelots are protected, like cows are protected in India, and they have free reign of the city. So, but we found the plans. We found the original plans for this temple inside the ruins of this basement here. This lower area, this isn't a basement, this lower area of the temple was discovered. And so our builder rebuilt this temple. And now our magical arts professors are working on extracting information that they found from all the books that they discovered in the bottom of this temple. So they were very happy. It was very fortuitous that the university just happened to be built so close to this temple. It was really interesting. Now remember, before this marketplace was here, we had housing. So it was acacia housing, but we decided to just add back some of the apartments in this area, and we built these stone apartments because we have a lot of singles who are going to the university, and we needed some extra singles apartments in this area. Down in this area here is another Acacia Restaurant right there that has been made. Ooh, a member of the royal family of the Lord of the Jungle. And one of his friends that he's out with. Let's look here. So in the same way in New Mombasa, we made this restaurant into dark oak. In this city, we made this restaurant jungle. And it turned out really fun. I love it. We changed out the acacia in this city to give it the cactus because it was green. And that was really fun to do, just to make a different restaurant since we had so many. And this is a sandstone template house. This is a sandstone house made into a jungle house. And this is the thing that I love doing. Now, a lot of people have suggested that Minecolonies make it possible for you to make a building out of any material that you want. And they have resisted, and I am actually glad. Their reason for resisting that is logical. They resist because they have made it a challenge to build the buildings up to a level 5. You have to go to the end. You have to go to the nether in order to build level 5 buildings. You can see the quartz and the nether brick in these level 5 buildings here. And they know that there are people who would just make all the houses out of dirt if they could. And there are a few people who would actually just to win the game. And they didn't like the idea of that, so I completely understand. I'm glad they didn't, because this is my joy in life. To build this as a sandstone building and then to trade out all the materials and make it into whatever building I want to make it into. And I love it. And like I said, and I repeat for all 3 of these streams, I do this. I would not make these buildings at all if I didn't love them. So I love the way they look from the beginning, and I make them into the way they look now, just so that I don't have 10 of the same building all the time. This is my 3rd city. This is the 3rd time that I've built this birch restaurant. And so when you do that like that, you want to change things up. You do. And after I build like 20 of these houses, I haven't built 20, maybe 10 altogether I've built of this house, this version of this house. You kind of want to change things. Now, this is the original. Nothing's been done to this house. This is how this downstairs originally looks in this house. But I have other houses where that has been completely changed. I think this is one of them right here, where we completely changed the insides because it's fun. So this is the same house, the same downstairs, but this is what it looks like with a modern kitchen. And you know my lament already. When you hear me lamenting in 15, this is why I lament sometimes, Mr. Crayfish. Please, please bring back some things. But I totally understand if he's bored with it, or if, they're just doing this for nothing. Some of them have Patreon and you can patronize them, and I try to do that. And I try to give them as much credit as I can. This is Mr. Crayfish's furniture mod, and it is amazing in 12, and it's wonderful in 15 and 16. And did you hear me? 16. There is Mr. Crayfish in 16. So thank you very much, Mr. Crayfish. Thank you, Macaw. Thank you, Silence Gems. Thank you, all of the modders who also integrate with Minecolonies. And thank you, Minecolonies, for making it possible, for making such a stable mod that all of this can be done in the same mod. Thank you so much, and I love this. I don't know whether this was exactly the first, but this was one of the first buildings where I said I'm going to build out the dark oak and make it into a different material. And this was one of the first ones that I did. This is one of the original dark oak designs. The original dark oak design that had this little stair that went up. The newer design is over on this side over here. Here it is. And this one's also been built out, but this is the newer design dark oak that has this. Oh, no, 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 it's not. Oh, that's an old one too. Oh, good. That's a different version of that build. I might not have one here. I thought I did. This might be before those. No, because I have those in New Mombasa. So this one over here has to be one of the versions of the newer ones. Yes, it is. This is a newer version. Now, of course, I've done crazy things to this dark oak build. This build has been extended out and extended up. So this is the main room, you can see. This is the room where we actually added an extension so we could have this kitchen be in here. And yes, this is definitely the second, this is the upgraded build of the dark oak house. I think it's been upgraded again, and this is the master bedroom of this house. And in this master bedroom, they have a table in between two beds. And you know how, if you follow me, you know how I feel about that. So they now have a king-size bed. And then upstairs here is the balcony room. We have closed it in and gave it a little bit more of a balcony on the sides, but closed in the main room right here. And I just had so much fun doing that. And we gave her a closet right over here. Now, the way this is built, there is a bed right here. So I started putting a wall here because this is the doorway to this room. And I just love having that little doorway and having the bed be feng shuied a little bit right in that. And yes, and then of course here's another version of a Mesa house that has been changed into a dark oak. Now this is one of the earlier changes of the Mesa house, and it worked out really well. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is the town of New Masseque. I've taken you into some of the areas, some of the builds. Oh, should I show you the two farm? Let's do this. So one last thing I'll show you is the two fisheries next to each other. This is a medieval dark oak fishery. I did not change the wood, if I'm not mistaken. Oh, there it is. Let's see what it says. It is medieval dark oak, yes, and it was really beautiful, and I wanted it, of course, because of this ship that was added to these builds, and it was so cool. But I wanted there to be another fisherman, and this is the best place for the fishery. So the dark oak fishery had this special upstairs, up above fishing area, and in the newer version they had two sections. So they had a down on the ground fishing area, and then they still had the upstairs fishing area. And so I decided to make these the oh, Johnny, hello, welcome, welcome, welcome. And I decided to make this fishing area their farm fisheries. So where they have crab and where they have fish that are sensitive to being out in the swamp. And so those are protected fishing areas and our two fishermen. And so because we already had a fishing hut over here, we made this the fish market. And this is the dark oak fishing hut that we have turned into a little fish market. We added, I think this window was actually a part of the original build, but then we added some things, as you can see, to make it be a little market. And that's one of my most satisfying rebuilds. And I've had fun with that. So, Johnny, I'm sorry to disappoint you, but I have spent the last 3 hours. Yeah, I like it. And that market was modeled sort of after a little market on the Gulf Coast of Florida that we used to go to that sold blue crab. And they caught and sold blue crab, and it was the most amazing place. And so I wanted to have a little market kind of like that. But thank you, Potential. Thank you so much for being with me on my journey. Johnny, you missed it, but you didn't have to be here because you have been here for reals. Every step of the way as I created all of my cities, and I appreciate the fact that you think they're beautiful. Thank you so much, everyone, for being here. I'm actually done, Johnny. I'm sorry. I was just going through all 3 of my cities today in an attempt to get some footage and to preserve them. And so that is what I'm doing. I am going to take these 3 tours and load them to YouTube probably in a week or 2. But you, Twitch viewers, get to see them first. And tomorrow we will return to New Musalangu, the jungle. No, New Musalangu, the Lost City. Sorry, this is the Jungle's Edge. New Musalangu, the Lost City, is the first city in 15, and it will actually be the only city in 15, because the developers have already moved on to 16, and I want to too. Do you know why? Because in 16, you can have a mine colony in the nether. Hold on a sec. Just wanted to clear my throat. You can have a mine colony in the nether. I have to. So I am eventually, and I'm probably going to do 15 and 16 the way I was doing the 3 cities, that I might come back. Remember when I stopped doing the 12 cities and said I was going to 15? I said, now I'm going to come back to these cities. And I didn't, because you get so involved with the new stuff. It's so cool. So I'm saying I'm going to come back to the 15 city, but I don't know. Once we get started in 16, it may be a while before I come back. Cesaris, it's nice to see you, and thank you so much. I am signing off, actually. I apologize, but I'm signing off. Now, Cesaris and Johnny, if you want, what time is it? 7? Vincentius, how are you doing?
I'm fine.
You're fine?
Yeah.
A half hour?
Sure.
Are you sure?
As long as you
Okay.
want.
Guys, if you want, I will go into 15 right now. And Potential, if you haven't seen my 15 city, I can do that. And Johnny and Cesaris, if you want to come back in, there it this is perfect. This is the end of all three of my cities, seeing the moon on the horizon like that. So I am going to say bye. I will be back in 5 minutes. I have to reload everything in order to get 15 to come in. So stay tuned and thank you so much for being here. It's been fun. Bye for now. I'll be back.